gonna keep moving. This next panel, I'm super, super excited about. Josh, you wanna take the cover off of that? Our next panel, we have the guys sharing a little bit about what It Works is doing for them and how they're working it. So Josh is gonna lead this panel. Guys, come on up.
Do we have time? It's 12.
Do you guys wanna hear from the guys or do you wanna go to lunch? Guys. Okay, if we need to end up eating in here and keep going, is that cool with you? Yeah. Okay, let's hear from the guys. Woo.
Inspire me.
Inspire me. No pressure.
Come on. You got these guys. What's happening? What's happening? I'm Josh. I'm obviously Crystal's husband. Just myself, I started working this business probably about 2 or 3 years ago was when I started diving into this thing. Oh, I don't need a shake. And I guess the reason I started working the business is because she was talking about retiring me, and I was like, well, if I'm going to step away from my job, I'm still going to try to support my family. So I was going to dive into this thing and see what it was all about, see if I could, I guess, be a rap daddy. So anyway, I knew that Crystal built probably 95% of her business on Facebook. So the very first thing I did when I started diving in was like, well, if Facebook's where it's at, I'm gonna dive in on Facebook. I'd never been on Facebook really until about 2.5 to 3 years ago. So I went on Facebook and started requesting all my past friends, anybody that I had a past conversation, whatever with, and I would request maybe 20 people a day to build up my network. And then also joining Facebook, I started getting on our team page. And our team page is like what really lit me up. I started noticing like my mornings when I was driving into work, I show up to my job, be parked there, like right in front of the building. I'm supposed to go in and fix their heating and cooling, and there I am drinking my coffee, checking out our team page, checking out the excitement on there, maybe like making a little conversation with a few people, throwing a few jabs or whatever. And before I knew it, all of a sudden I was like friends with this whole team of people, and it was so cool and so much fun to be a part of. There was so much excitement in that team page, and I was like, holy balls, I'm like, I'm all the way in on this thing. I didn't even know what happened. So that's kind of how I got started as far as networking, but I'm going to ask these guys here what they thought about the business and what they do. So I want to ask all of you guys, by a raise of hands, did you support the business day one when you found out about it, when your wives brought it home? Just by a raise of hands, did you support the business day one? Yeah. And then, so how about today? What do you think about the business today? Do you support the business today? All right, rest of the case. I'd like to, I'm going to wrap this up quick because we're obviously...
Okay. You're fine.
Well, I would say, let's skip one of the questions anyway. What was, for all of you guys, we'll start with you, Jeff. What was a changing moment for you when you thought, let's give this business a whirl? I really see something here. Like this could really turn into something. What was the changing moment, like that you saw in Pam or with the company? What grew your confidence in the business?
Well, for me, I was supportive right from the beginning. Pam was a chiropractor. She owned her own clinic. I think the biggest change was when we actually started talking about selling her clinic, and for her to be able to stay home full time with the kids, to be able to go to their sporting events at night, not have to stay at the office until 6 o'clock at night and close up. And that was one of the biggest parts for me.
Awesome. Well, let's go right down the line. Yeah, the changing moment. What was a changing moment when your confidence was just like, man, there's really something to this?
Well, excuse me. Really, for me, it was just seeing the excitement in Melissa. I mean, I was supportive of the business, but really, more specifically, I didn't give it any thought. I was like, well, she's going to do this, go ahead. It meant, I was alone with the kids a little bit more, but then she, was just lit up by this whole thing. And I would say it didn't change her, it just made the great things about her greater. It really, but because the frustrations weren't there, and of day-to-day life, and we were, like she said, we were building a house, living in her parents' basement, and it was crazy. But through all those struggles, she was excited. And so that's when I really realized, And she came home, she said, I think I want to quit my job and do this all the time. And we set up that plan. And then I was like, okay, we'll set up the plan and that'll take care of that. And then she met every goal she was supposed to meet. And that's when I was like, well, this is going to happen now. So from there, it just didn't stop.
I should slow down too. Like, let's have you guys say your names
Oh, yeah,
and
sorry.
maybe your wife's rank or your family rank, whatever.
Yeah, Kevin Yardley and Melissa is my wife, ambassador.
Where are you guys from?
We are from the booming metropolis of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Cool. Let's have you go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what's your guys' rank.
So I'm Mike Danbury. My wife's Jenny. She's a diamond. She's been with the business for about a year and 2 or 3 months. And actually, I joined at this event last year. So that was kind of a cool thing. Yeah. But yeah, I got a free bag. It was pretty cool. Should have brought that bag along, full of goodies. So, you know, I've been kind of a business guy my whole life, and Jenny actually joined the business like 6 years ago and was working with Christina, and I pounded her in the ground for it, told her it wasn't going to work. It's not a business, you know, this is just some excuse. All these women try to find something that they call work, you know, to make themselves feel good, and you know, I was playing that game. So she quit, and then we joined a different network marketing company, and we had tremendous success with it. But the family wasn't there. The business was business, business, business. They didn't care about people. You know, they were all about the numbers. They just wanted you to roll and roll and roll. So we stepped away from that business. We didn't join into another business for probably, I don't know, maybe a year or so. And Jenny says, you know, I want to try Works again. And I kind of laughed at her and I said, yeah, you had some success the first time, didn't you? You know, and yeah, playing that game, I know. So I gave her this completely unrealistic goal and told her that if she hadn't made her money back in 6 months, she had to quit. I didn't know it was $99 to start. You know, so we've started a few businesses over the years, and it's like everybody's saying, you know, we're spending $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to start a business, and I give her this goal of making her money back in 6 months. I mean, I ate my foot in like, I don't know, like maybe the first week or something. So she, you know, at that point, I kind of sat back and I seen the excitement with her, and then I came to this event and I seen the family and the unity, and that's where I said, boy, this is what we've been looking for. So.
My name is Brett Treat. Christina's my wife, and she's been in for 6 years. The turning point in kind of my view of it, well, I wasn't supportive at all to begin with, you know. I kind of honored her. She was doing really well. I mean, she worked away with Diamond, and I don't know, she was just gone all the time, and I was probably just being selfish. Me wanted to spend time with her, and she was gone doing something for her family, which I just didn't comprehend it. So I hounded her in that, and she quit, and you know, I kind of thought that was going to be the end of it, and she went and waitressed and stuff. And that wasn't really any better because I was working overnights at the time, and I'd come home, get maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep and watch the kids because she had to go waitress. So that's kind of where we were at. And then she jumped back in and drugged me to an event, and that's really what changed my mind. Seeing other guys, that was the first time I met Josh and some other people in the business, and that it's not just a women's business, that we could do this together, it'd be something for our family to do. So that's definitely the changing point in our business, for me, was getting to an event and realizing that there's a whole corporate staff around you. You know, you have other team members that you work with, but when you actually see how much corporate employees there are that are behind us, that are backing each distributor in this business, you know, we're not going anywhere for a long time, guys. So that's all I don't know.
Cool. Well, no doubt my turning point that I actually got off Crystal's back, because just like Brad, I hounded Crystal for a year. Crystal went presidential without me ever attending a It Works event or any type of meeting or corporate event, anything. And there was Crystal and I have been together since we were 14 years old. And we never got in any arguments or fights, really. We'd bicker a little bit, but we knew the end result was we're going to like kiss and make up, and it was going to be no big deal kind of thing, you know? So we never argued, fought, or anything, but we, well, Crystal found the business, and it was taking a lot of our time. You know, at that time, you know, we had brand new twin daughters and stuff, so it was a lot. The dishes were dirty, the laundry was dirty, the house was a mess, the kids were crying, and it was hunting season. I wanted to go hunt. And so anyway, Crystal and I are going at it, and this is like an all-out blowout fight, first ever, and it was a good one. And she just like, you know, in the middle of this thing, she didn't cry. And I was like steaming pissed, just mad. And she looks at me, she's like, Josh, you have all these hobbies. This is my hobby. You know, you hunt, you fish, you play softball, you shoot trap, you go out with your buddies, this and that. And I took Crystal from Cottage Grove, where she grew up, and moved her up to like where I grew up. So I had friends that hang out with all this stuff and whatnot. And I was out all the time, gone all the time, you know, hunting, fishing, all that stuff. And here Crystal is at the house with the kids, for the most part, usually. And she says, Josh, you have all these hobbies. This is my hobby. My hobby is to do something, you know, more for our family. I want to just try to provide a bit more for our family. And from that day forward, it was like, well, at that moment, it was like, oh my God, like, what do I say to that? So I left. I think I don't know what I did, maybe went hunting. And, well, I couldn't tell her, damn, Crystal, you're right. You know, I can't say that. But I walked probably out of the house with the tail between my legs or something. Just like, whoa, like, what do I, it was a changing moment. There was no doubt. So from that day forward, I was off her tail. Did I support the business? No. Did I still make fun of the business? Yes. But I didn't ride her as bad. Like, holy smokes, that was life-changing. Wow. You know, how crazy for your wife's dream to be to do something more for your family. So that was my moment. We'll move along here. All right. Actually, I don't really need this. So how about this? Do you guys use the products? Any of you guys use the products? All right, we're going to go ahead and toss the mic around here and tell us your favorite product and maybe just a little testimony about it.
I have a couple favorite products. I like the ProFit. I use that a lot in the mornings. Get up, it's easy breakfast, so I don't have time to make a big breakfast or anything, so you can put that in the blender, mix it with a few other things. I also am a big fan of the energy drink. We like that in the morning, usually mid-morning. It's a good time to have that, kind of get going again. Those would be my two favorites.
Awesome.
My number one is Relief. I have really bad neck pain from years of cracking my neck like an idiot. Yeah, yes. I did do that. You're not supposed to do it to yourself. Right?
Correct.
So anyway, I noticed within a couple days, once I started using Relief, that my pain was significantly less. And now, if I go a few days without taking it, I notice it comes back. So that's my favorite, and the probiotic recently that I started taking, I absolutely love. I just feel so much better since I've been taking that. I won't talk about poop, but
I will. I'm Team New You. I love that stuff, you know. For quite a while there, I was taking some pictures and stuff of, you know, putting pills in my mouth and things like that. But to sleep like a baby again, it's irreplaceable. I mean, it really is. And the probiotic. I mean, when you can have a schedule and you don't have to work around it, that's pretty sweet.
My favorite would be probably the energy, like Jeff, just kind of have a little pick-me-up, plus I love the taste of it. Also, the greens, I do like carrying the greens around or having them at my desk at work, or you know, the greens and the energy are my favorite.
Yeah. Awesome. The product that opened my mind to trying other products or trying supplements at all was Confianza. I was a really busy person. I was somebody that you could put as much on my plate as you wanted. You could say, let's go hunting, fishing, let's go make a grocery store run, whatever, in a day, and I would put like 20 things on my plate in a day. It was no problem for me. But it was like, at a certain point, you know, once we had kids, all of a sudden, all them things that are on my plate, I thought I could still handle them, and you can't. It was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm driving myself nuts. And so Crystal could see this well up, and she's like, you gotta try Confianza. Just, I know you don't support my products, whatever, this, but just try Confianza. And I did, and I was like, damn, this is awesome. You know, like we're driving to church in the morning, and we're like 10 minutes late. I knew we were gonna be late, and usually I'd be like, gosh darn it, you know, the damn kids and this and that. And I was like, who cares? So it was a life changer for me, no doubt. And now I use pretty much damn near like the whole line. I use the skincare. You know, I go through like my lifting season when I'm not hunting, fishing, stuff through the summer. January through May is my lifting season, so I'll be using New You, ProFit, greens, all that stuff. Our whole family uses greens daily. So how about this? Crystal said network marketing, 77% women. Do you think that we should probably start asking the guys if they want to try some of our products or maybe look into this opportunity? It sounds like there's a pretty good market out there that's not tapped. Is this a women's business or is this either business? You know? So is it like a mindset, like a perspective issue, or what's going on here? Like we should start, I mean, we're not doing our jobs if we're not getting 77% women. I mean, our market's open is what I'm getting at. How about that? Crystal says one more question. Dang.
What's for lunch?
So, all right, we're gonna mix these last two together. Just a quick, simple answer for the both of them. I think they're both powerful. So, how about this? What was your role in the business when your wife first started? So, for the majority of us, probably nothing. My role was to give Crystal help. And then, what is it today? And then, has this business changed your life? Have you seen change in your life, your wife, and your family? You know, just let us know about that. Obviously, you guys heard Crystal and I's story a bit, so I'm gonna pass the mic here.
I'd say when the business started, I was just there for support. You know, taking care of the kids, doing laundry, cooking, and even today, it's still pretty much that role for me. I'm not one that goes out and blitz people, talk about the products. I just don't talk to a lot of people, and so my role in the business is as a support person, and that's what I do. What was the next one? The other part?
Have you seen change?
Well, like I said, the biggest change with us was Pam being able to sell her clinic and stay home with the kids. It's definitely given us a lot more freedom to be able to go different places, take some trips. We went to Hawaii last year for our anniversary, stuff like that. So, yeah.
My role at the beginning was babysitter, basically.
They're your kids too.
Yeah, not a babysitter when you're dad. It's a good thing because I'm a terrible babysitter. And now, really, I will talk to people about it on occasion, but more than anything, you know, I still have my full-time job, and I keep my products at work. I keep the greens in the kitchen in the office, and so I mix them up in there, and people are always asking me about them. So, just kind of the branding thing and letting people see me using it, and it's led to, you know, more than a few people kind of reaching out to us. As far as how it's changed us, I mean, it's changed everything. I mean, as beyond financially, I think it's made us a better, it's strengthened our marriage. You know, I talked about the excitement I've gotten to see in my wife, and I think as much as anything, it's just changed our mindset on how you can think, how you're allowed to think. I remember when I graduated and my background's in video production, I always thought, if I just had a job running a camera for a news show for my whole life, I'd be happy. That's pretty simple. And that's kind of what they allow you to think. Like, you will work for someone, and they will give you a raise when they decide you can have a raise, and they will go on vacation when they decide you can have vacation. And just getting out of that mindset of you'll do things when you're allowed to do them, instead of when you want to do them. And it's just, I think we need more of that, and that's what I think is the greatest part of this business, is not being told when you're allowed to do the things you love to do.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Well, I would say that my role really when I started was like zip zeros. You know, I didn't really do anything. I supported the idea. I've never told her not to try anything. So, you know, I've given her the support, but I wasn't standing alongside her. The phrase of, you know, I got your back isn't as good as I'm staying alongside you. So we did that. I would say that the biggest change in our life would be Jenny. She's incredible. You can't say it. You can't even say what they mean to you. And to give her the control to provide for our family is something I'm not used to. It's tough. Because that's our job. Right, guys? Raise your hand. Is that your job?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. But it's not our job It's not my job, it's our job. And so when she started making the money, I spent the entire summer home with our little kids. The entire summer. And I learned that I got so much to improve on. And money doesn't make the world go around. But who's played the broke game? Are you happy broke? And even when you have enough to just get by, does that provide you the ability to grow? It doesn't. So does money make the world go around? It actually does. And it makes it a lot easier. But if you don't have your family, you got nothing. You got nothing. You go to the men's retreat and they teach you, you can have all these possessions. But if you sit in a big, huge house with a big, huge TV, some sweet-ass cars out in the garage, every toy you want, but there's nobody to enjoy it with, are you happy? No. So is it the possessions that make you happy? No, it's your family. And she's taught me that.
My role in the business when I started was, I really didn't do anything. I think kind of like all of us, we did things around the house, and we're just there for support. She's leaning on me a lot more. She'll ask me questions on workplace people and things like that. I don't go out and actively work the business. I wear the gear. I support her 100%. I believe in the business now. But I'm not the frontline network marketer of the business. That's Christina. So I, kind of had to find that place within the business, and that we need to work together. And that's kind of where it is now. I'll still take care of the house, do the dishes, do the cleaning, take care of the kids, things like that, and just kind of let her work the business as best as she can. Some of the things that we've been able to do through this business, we've checked a lot of things off our dream board, which is pretty cool. But the best thing is we talk to our kids about dreaming. I remember growing up, and I didn't ever have a conversation with my parents about dreaming and what I wanted for our future, and that's things that we've talked about with our kids. And if you're not talking about that with your kids, you should be, and this business will allow you to do those things. So I suggest you maybe start doing that and open your eyes that there's more out there for you. If you're working a 9-to-5 job and you don't like it or aren't happy in your current situation, there's more out there for you. You just got to open your eyes and go grab it and dream bigger, because the sky's the limit. Also with that, the personal growth that has happened with my wife has been just phenomenal. She's become a much stronger person and a leader. To see her grow and see people look up to her and our kids look up to her is pretty cool.
Holy smokes. These guys tore up. It was actually a men's panel that lit me up. It was one of the best panels I'd seen, and it was because there was an array of guys. There was guys that were full-blown It Works rap daddy guys, and then there was guys that were like, you know what, I still got my job, and I'm just here to support my wife. I do what I can to help make life better for her. She's done a lot for our family. I'm just going to help make life better for her, make it easy, make it more efficient. So it was one of those panels. Me and Crystal on the plane home from that green carpet, and I said, see, Mom, I don't need to quit my job, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, a month later, I quit my job. So, I like what you said too. If we're not going to help our kids dream, who is? I made it to 30 years old without ever figuring out what personal development was. I made it to 30 years old without believing I could have more. I made it to 30 years old believing all I could have was this. I was pinned. And I think a lot of people are. I don't think kids are taught to dream. So you got to dream with your kids. We're going to wrap this up. How'd they do? Woo!